we'll do our best. Good afternoon, everyone in Broomfield, businesses throughout the community. As you are evaluating and contemplating how to ensure the public health of your employees and your customers as we get through this next stage, if you will, of COVID. Today, Jason and I just wanted to give you a brief overview of what we're asking for from the standpoint of what the city is doing on the mandatory mask update, as well as what we're asking businesses to step in and to help provide and ensure the public health of our citizens and our customers. So today we're just going to spend a few minutes running through some things. At the same time, you'll hear some various places where you can get more information. As always, you can reach out to us directly to the city and county of Broomfield, and we can provide additional information either on a one-on-one conversation or through some of the tools that we put together. There is a toolkit that's currently available that includes signage for your businesses, as well as some tips for you to be able to bring that forward in order to ensure the public health. The one other item I just wanted to bring up to you at the start, and we'll mention it again, is there are two programs that are available also. One is called Enhanced Broomfield. That program still has funding in it. So if you need some additional support for your business, or more importantly, to help buy anything that will help the public health be maintained in our community, please let us know and reach over to us. You can contact me at jromine, ROMINE, at broomfield.org, or you can go to our Economic Vitality webpage at the City and County of Broomfield. The other item I just want to let you know about is we will be bringing forward in early 2022 something called Broomfield Believes Bingo, which is a game that we're putting together to encourage residents and customers to discover businesses, exciting businesses and restaurants throughout Broomfield. More information on the dates on that, as well as the program, will be coming forward, and we'll be communicating that through our newsletter, which I hope you're subscribing to. And so you'll be able to get that information there and participate. There's no charge, and it is something that'll be citywide. So we look forward to bringing that program forward as a method to allow our customers and our residents to discover your business and others throughout the community. So with those two notes as a preference, I wanted to introduce Jason Volling. He is our Public Health and Environment Director. He's going to provide a short update and a short presentation to cover a number of the key points around voluntary masking and vaccination. So Jason?
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Well, first of all, I want to provide a huge shout out to Jeff and his team. They've been amazing partners through this pandemic, and we couldn't have made it through as a public health agency without being able to work closely with Jeff and reaching out and working closely with our business community. So thanks, Jeff, first of all, and to your team. And the second thing I'd like to say is I just want to really express my sincere gratitude and appreciation to our business community. This pandemic has been going on. We're now approaching 2 years, and it's been exhausting, I believe, for pretty much everybody. And I know how the initial phases of the pandemic really impacted our business community. And so please know I'm aware of that, and it's always at the forefront of my mind when I'm making decisions, and look forward to continuing to partner with the community as we work through this pandemic. So I just wanted to start today by giving you sort of the latest landscape of where we're at, both statewide and in Broomfield. So if we could go to the next slide. So I'm sure you've seen from the news that Colorado is in a fairly bad place when it comes to our overall hospital capacity. There's modeling data that shows if we continue on our current trajectory of hospitalizations that we could exceed over 2,000 beds in the next 7 weeks. The governor has already instituted crisis standards of care sort of the next step or phase in that is looking at rationing healthcare. And what that means is there's scoring systems that are put in place determining who is for triaging getting care or not. And obviously throughout this pandemic, that's where we don't want to be. We want to make sure that we're saving our hospital system and our hospital capacity. The other thing I would say with that is we know that our hospital systems are stretched not only from COVID patients that need care, but also those patients that had been putting off care during the pandemic. And then lastly, the fact that we're seeing staffing shortages in the hospital system. And a lot of people point to some of the mandates, but really what we're seeing is just burnout and exhaustion in this system of working so many hours dealing with this pandemic. We were last week at a place where we were down to less than 75 ICU beds in the whole state, and that wasn't staffed beds. That was extremely concerning. And so with all of that, we began to look at what could be done. And obviously the governor's office is focusing on promoting monoclonal antibody treatments, on increasing boosters uptake, and also promoting vaccines in the 5 to 11 age group. We're doing all of those things in Broomfield as well. But we do know in order to blunt this rise in hospitalizations and hopefully avoid where the modeling shows we're going, we need to reduce transmission in our communities. And so obviously you all read the news or heard the news last week that the metro counties came together and decided to take action looking at their hospitalization numbers. And all of our surrounding metro counties, that would be Denver, Adams, Arapahoe, Jefferson County, and then both Boulder and Larimer had existing orders in place, have indoor mask requirements or orders. They do allow for business entities to opt out by participating in a vaccine verification program. Through that program, you have to send an email to the local health department in those areas, share with them your policy for vaccinating staff to ensure that staff are vaccinated, and then additionally to describe how you will verify vaccine status for those clients or customers coming into your business. Broomfield looked at this option, and there were a couple things that we felt needed more of a tailored approach in Broomfield. One is our hospitalizations. We have very high vaccine rates in Broomfield. We're also seeing high booster uptake. And so we have low hospitalization rates due to that. And with that, we decided it made more sense to take a tailored approach. And again, looking at public health orders and least restrictive means, starting where we could have an immediate impact. And that began with looking at issuing, or we will be issuing a mask order for all of our city and county Broomfield facilities. That'll be effective December 1st through December 31st. We do have an option for fully vaccinated individuals to opt out if they can show proof of vaccination. So Jake, if you go to the next slide, it just provides a little bit more detail on our actual public health order. So again, all staff and any patrons visiting any of our city and county Broomfield facilities, including our library, community center, and the Paul Durda Recreation Center, will be required to wear face masks or masks. However, fully vaccinated individuals can opt out of wearing a mask by showing proof of vaccination, of being fully vaccinated. And there's multiple ways you can do that. You could have your actual vaccine card you received when you got your vaccinations. You could take a picture of that card and show that. They also have the My Colorado app that you can download your vaccine information on and show that. There's multiple ways to actually show proof of vaccination. And what we'll be doing in Broomfield is, again, working both with our staff and with our residents to say, we want you to come visit our facilities, but we want to keep our facilities safe during this time, try and reduce community transmission. And so we ask that if you're unvaccinated, that you wear a face covering. Next slide. A couple other things I think that was important for us and why we were doing this is, as the Metro region was rolling this out, obviously, and you may have heard from some of your business colleagues in other counties, it was going pretty quickly based on the data they were receiving. And it didn't provide a lot of opportunity to do outreach to the business community and to the residents. And for us, in order to have this program be successful, both within the city and county of Broomfield facilities, but potentially with other businesses following suit, we thought it was important that we first have the conversation with our business community and also have the conversation with our residents of, we're all in this together. And if we could step up and do the right thing, we'll see transmission go down and ultimately get us back in a better place. So a couple things that we're doing is, first of all, reaching out to our business community, asking that you consider following what we're doing and either requiring face coverings within your specific business, or additionally following suit the way we did of allowing customers and staff to unmask if they could show that proof of vaccination. And the reason for that is we know mask wearing is effective at preventing the spread. When only the unmasked individuals in the room are vaccinated, the risk of spreading or contracting COVID is lower. So basically, if you have a room full of people and they're all vaccinated, your chances of seeing breakthrough infections are a lot lower versus if you have a room mixed with both vaccinated and unvaccinated individuals. And also what we know is by doing this in both promoting vaccines, but also looking at requiring face coverings, it will help us to reduce overall hospitalizations. It also will keep your employees healthy and working. And I think that's important for a lot of us during the holiday season, is how do we avoid unnecessary quarantines with our staff members and keep them healthy and able to come to work. And lastly, it keeps your patrons healthy. And what we're hearing from a lot of patrons and residents is they want to frequent those business establishments that are looking and promoting safety. So those that are either, again, creating sort of those vaccine verification or vaccine passport types of events or facilities, or additionally that are requiring mask wearing. And then the last thing is, we know that if we all come together and participate, that will reduce the spread of COVID, reduce hospitalizations, and get us in a much better place to avoid any additional public health orders. I think the one thing, speaking for myself, but most public health directors all want to avoid, is going back to any type of business or capacity restrictions. That was very painful. It was hard to do. And we know the societal impact that has. And so whatever we could do, and wearing a mask isn't asking too much of customers and staff to do, or getting vaccinated, really helps us from going down those more, I would say, potentially more impactful public health orders that impact not only the transmission, but ultimately impact all of society in both positive and negative ways. Next slide. And so one thing we're doing is we're really encouraging our business community to follow suit with us here in the city and county of Broomfield. And again, our public health order is only going to be in place for a month. We believe that if we can put these orders in place or these programs throughout the month, that what we'll see is hospitalizations will go down and we'll avoid that tipping point. So what we've done is we are we've created a toolkit for businesses to look at. And it's basically looking at how can you implement what we've done here in the city and county of Broomfield. So it creates a specific step-by-step guide of how to implement a vaccine verification program. It has frequently asked questions, including additional resources, how you can host a vaccine event for your staff, or if you're doing a specific event over the holidays, making that a event that is where you do have people show proof of vaccination to attend. We've created some sample scripts for talking with patrons about masks and vaccine verification. We have signage that you can use, sample social media graphics, and sample social media copy. So if you could go to the next slide, Jake. And so I would like to conclude by saying, in Broomfield right now, we're in a much better place than most counties across the state and in the region. Our hospitalizations are not driving the hospital capacity as far as where we're at. However, if we do see that change, we know that we may need to take more action. So coming to you as our business community and asking for your help during this 1 month period of time, and also working with our residents and asking for their help. We know we could get through this again. So I want to end by saying, again, I know we all don't want to be here going through this, but I think what we have to prepare ourselves for as an entire society is we may all be done with the virus and want to move on and get back to our normal lives, but the virus isn't done with us. And we may be living in this place for a period of time. So by even trying this program or testing it out, maybe something that you find useful going forward and something you want to implement on specific days of the week or for specific events or whatever it may be. So I do appreciate the willingness of the business community to participate in this discussion. And as Jeff and I mentioned, we'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. And I think answering them via email, again, will be our best approach. So Jeff shared his email. My email is jballing@broomfield.org. And again, we have our toolkit that's available. And with that, I'll turn it over to Jeff. And Jeff, if you have any closing comments or additions to make.
So I just wanted to mention a couple of things and hit on them again that Jason brought up. And one is the reason why we're able to do what we're doing and public health feels confident enough to be able to take a voluntary approach and it is because of the business leadership that you all have experienced and demonstrated over the last year and a half, from the Back to Business program, from everything that we've done collectively as a business community and as a community as a whole. We've been able to be in front of many of the things and be a leader in the metro area. And so I think our city council, the city manager, Jason, and public health, everyone feels confident that we'll be able to do that once again. And so this time what we're doing is going one step further than perhaps other counties by having this voluntary approach and asking you all to take the leadership roles that you've done in the past. And so I want to express our appreciation to you all And they also express appreciation in the business community to Jason and our city council for being willing to take this step and follow this approach. It's really helped. I know from talking to several business leaders over the last few days as we've announced what we're doing, they've been highly appreciative. And so this is really important. Again, we have some tools there so that you're not alone. We know that you're running your business and doing your things, but we do have some resources available. Both Jason and I are here, as well as our teams, but equally, you can go straight to broomfield.org, business VAX, VAX program, and that's where you can get copies of that, of the signage, the social media, anything else in the toolkits. And please take advantage of those. We didn't do those for fun. We did those to be a useful tool for you, so you didn't have to spend time during this critical season creating signs of your own. This way you have something that's available to you. So again, we want to send our appreciation to each and every one of you. We hope that you have a great holiday season. We think this is a method in which our customers collectively in Broomfield and our residents will be able to be safe, but also patroning your businesses and your restaurants in order to make this a very successful holiday season for one and all. So please send us your questions. Both Jason and I have shared our emails, and we look forward to hearing your questions specifically. If we have other updates, you will hear from us very rapidly because this is an important time. As many of you've heard, we're dealing with the Delta variant, but Omicron is around the corner. We hope it doesn't hit our shores, but if it does, public health officials across the nation are preparing to be able to take that next task on. And so we look forward to working with you, and hopefully you have a successful season. Jason, any last word? Oh, you're muted. So I guess on behalf of Jason and I and everybody here, we're wishing you a happy holiday season. And please feel free to reach out to us with any questions.